Can't believe I didn't think of this shit sooner. So you want to know the common denominator when it comes to healing literally all of the insecure attachment style? And I'm saying this because number one, I have my own personal experience. I'm disorganized, so I've been very avoidant and also very anxious, leaning in different relationships and different periods of life. But also the vast majority of my clients come to me for this kind of stuff. And there's one thing that's like just trending across the fucking board: trust. But it's not trust the way that we normally talk about trust. That's not it. If you're leaning anxious, your job is not to trust your partner more, to not leave you or not betray you. That's not true. If you're leaning avoidant, your job is not to trust your partner to be able to handle your vulnerability. That's not it. We've been talking about this shit all wrong. I was on the phone with my friend and we were talking about trust, and he asked me, if somebody walked up to you right now and asked you, what would it take for you to trust them? What would your answer be? And in the most secure place I've ever been in my life, in terms of all of the healing that I've done on my attachment wounds and the ability to trust other people in relationships and friendships and whatever, my answer was that I couldn't think of an answer. So I told him that, and I said, it's because I don't put the power of my trust in other people's hands to begin with. I keep the power of my trust to myself. When I was leaning anxious, I realized that it was my job to trust myself to see people clearly, because I realized that if I could see people clearly, then I wouldn't be wondering what the fuck they're up to. And I worked on that first, starting in 2017. And then a couple years later, I start therapy. I get into vulnerability with my therapist, and I'm leaning way more avoidant at this point. And my therapist asked me, what's my issue with vulnerability? And I say, I don't like vulnerability because I don't like how people respond to me sometimes when I'm vulnerable. Like, what if they're hurtful? Words can really hurt, or their response can really hurt sometimes. And she said, is it that you don't trust other people to respond well, or is it that you don't trust yourself to be able to handle it? I about fell the fuck out of my chair when she said that to me, because she said it at just the right fucking moment. And so I've been working on that ever since. And without putting this specific language to it, I've been working with my clients on the same things. And it's working across the fucking board. We make this shit in relationships about people outside of us. But in order for us to make it to a space of being secure in relationships, we have to first realize that relationships are a vessel of our growth for ourselves. The more we trust ourselves, the more we are inherently going to be able to trust the people we place ourselves with. All of it is about trusting ourselves to be able to make decisions that are safe for us. And I know that's tough. So if you want help with that, look for my back pocket coaching and one-on-one support while they're available.